He's like,
Oh,
hi.
now we just go live. So that's all the behind the scenes part. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, as in, even for myself, I love. I mean, I like languages. I just don't have the time and focus to go into language right now. But I definitely love to catch up on that. As and when I can.
I think language is really a fun thing. The best part is when you make mistakes. Because when you make mistakes, right, the people that actually understand, they laugh. No matter how bad their day is, they just laugh.
True.
I still remember when I was practicing Mandarin long time ago. But not even Mandarin. Because I used to work in Singapore, so a lot of my Singaporean colleagues and friends, they used to use certain words and I don't understand. And when I ask them, right, say, hey, what does that mean? They don't tell me. So one day I was talking and then I was practicing, and then I asked I asked my ex-girlfriend back then, the mom. No wait, I asked my ex-girlfriend the word. It's like, hey, what does this mean? Then after that, she like, hey, don't tell you. Then I'm like, okay. You see, when people say don't tell you, right, the more you're curious, right? It's curiosity. Yeah. And the saying, curiosity kills the cat, it happened to me. Because right after that, I asked the sister don't tell me. Then I ended up asking the mom. And I asked the mom, and then the mom's eyes and the face was like, like I said something very wrong. Then after that, my ex heard it, and then she came and pulled me aside and told me, that's saying something very rude about your mother.
Oops. Okay.
But the best thing is when we had dinner that night, right? Everyone was laughing about that story. Even my the mom as well. So in a way, it's like it makes a great story.
Well, the main thing is that everyone's happy, and yes. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we do have some viewers here. And
really?
Yes. So for those of you here with us, say hi. Please drop your highs in the comments so that we can also say hello back to you. We want to appreciate you for being here. It's 8:02. We came in a little bit earlier, or maybe even on the dot, just to ensure that everything is okay. And today is actually going to be a very, very exciting one for not just me, but I think for quite a number of us, because we're going to talk about a very special topic and something that's also close to my heart as well. And that's basically the winning mindset during this challenging time. We're still in the midst of MCO. And if for those of you here who knows what's happening in Malaysia, just this morning, we've been upgraded to now CMCO. We added one more letter in the front. And I'm really, really excited as well because I have a very good friend and also a special guest here, Webster Ku.
Hi, everybody. So nice to see each and every one of you here live. It doesn't matter where you are in the world today, as long as you have internet, as long as you have a device, either a phone, tablet, computer, you get to be able to reach out. And it's such a pleasure to be able to have the opportunity to share this evening together with such an amazing, charismatic, handsome person like Jeffro over here. All right.
Oh, thank you.
I'll definitely, kind of like ask Jeffro if you're willing to go on a date with me. But of course, the missus will say no lah. Maybe she'll say double date. Why not, eh?
Oh, okay. We might just very well see something else, eh?
But it's a beautiful thing. I think, right, because of the MCO right now, right, rather than like keep me for herself, she'll be like, just leave, just go and hang out somewhere else. I need some time alone.
Okay, so we have Victoria saying hi.
Hi, Victoria.
And Eldon say, Fuyo, pairing Gempa.
I hope you're talking about the Gempa is the energy, yeah. Because I think we because I think we're dressed pretty awesome as well. We did not plan to get like dressed with the same color. Huh? Don't you think so? Okay. But it's wow.
and we have Suhi saying hi as well.
Hi, Suhi. Long time no see.
Nice. So we do have a couple of people here with us. And for those of you who have missed the first few minutes, well, you can rewatch it after that. We were having a little bit more fun exploring about languages. We're talking a little bit on that. But no, not to sidetrack, because our main topic today is winning mindset. And part of the winning mindset is that we have to keep focus, right? So focus on what we want to say today.
Yes.
We have a lot of fun topics, and I can tell you that being with Webster, and I've known him only for a very brief period. I think I met him last year. And he gave me such a great impression, in terms of energy, in terms of positivity. I've always enjoyed that. And ever since then, I've kind of followed him on what he does. So if you don't know Webster today, you can really go and check him out. You will find him. He's really, really inspiring, high energy. And that's why today I want to have and pick his spine, what makes him the way he is, and how he actually keeps up with all that, especially in times like this where it is challenging. All of us here are going through certain adaptability. Some do better, some okay. But what makes him special, and I'm pretty sure you also like to know what is he currently doing as well. So without further ado, Webster, maybe you'd like to introduce yourself for our audience here.
Oh, thank you so much, Jeffro. It's such a great introduction over there. It almost makes me feel like I need to work extra hard. I wish I had more better content to match with that introduction. Okay, now if that's the case, then I'm gonna do my very best. Okay, first of all, hi everybody. My name is Webster. Yes, that is my real name. It's not a glamour name that I suddenly came up with. My parents expected me to be very smart, because back in the day there's this famous dictionary. It's called the Webster Merriam Dictionary, and I'm so glad that my parents chose the word Webster, not Merriam, because I don't think it fits with my gender. And the reason why I say that is because I've been very, very lucky in my life, because when it comes to mindset, I have been given the life to be a failure from the very beginning. What do I mean by that? From the very beginning, when I was born, a lot of people have an expectation that I'm going to be very smart, very intelligent. And ever since I went to school, or ever since, in my journey, I was very slow, very opposite. I am not the first to speak. I was not the first to walk. I was not very, academically inclined. I still remember my teacher used to say to me, it's like, "Hey, Webster, you are a fantastic student." I was like, yay! Fantastic. Why? Because all my exam result was F. It was all fantastic all the way. And for me, growing up, especially in Asia, right? If you're not doing well in school, you're gonna die. You're gonna be considered a failure. So I was growing up in that kind of element. But the beautiful thing is, right? Sometimes that does not define you. And I was very blessed, because I got the opportunity to learn how to learn, and it changed my life. I still remember my mentor coming up to me, taking his hands, putting it on my shoulder, and then after looking at me and saying, "Webby, wake up!" He literally shook I don't know whether it's my brain got shaken so much, or there's a lot of holy water. That means, why he screamed, a lot of water come out, a lot of his saliva. Either one of those two, it affected my life to the greatest element, which he asked me to think of things differently. Because he mentioned to me, right, that it's not that you cannot study, it's because you learn differently, or it's because you understand differently. And he started to help me explore things in a different way, and my life changed. Let me explain to you how my life changed. From being a failing student, I was actually I was able to change my life to a point where I got to enroll into university, was able to do well enough to get into university. And not only do I get into university, I was also working part-time. I suddenly learned how to manage my time, working full-time and still study. And because of that, I got even hungrier, and I wanted to push myself even more. And I started to actually enroll myself into a specific field called psychology, more specifically applied psychology. And in applied psychology, I realized that it's not about how much you learn, it's about how much you utilize and how much you understand. That changes everything. And I was able to utilize that strategy and help myself, and along the way also help people that became my students. And I've been very blessed to be able to become someone that has the opportunity to work, inspire, and develop people, children, students, parents, families, and adults to be able to score A in school as well in real life. And throughout this journey, I've been very lucky to be able to come up with books. I wrote a book called Be Lazy and Still Score A, being a lazy person myself. I also able to kind of to start a digital video program called Turbocharged Learning, input videos where it helps people about so far, if I'm not mistaken, about like 15,000 people so far. And over the last year, I've been working with over 35,000 people, helping them learn smarter and not just harder. And along the way, it's not just students, it's not just parents, it's also professional adults as well. And all this, imagine if you think about it, all this started because someone was there to remind me to think and look at things differently. And that's why I'm a very big supporter of this idea called mindset. Because my life should have been a lousy one. My life, my journey, my point in time is supposed to be a failure. It's supposed to be no choice, no harapan, no hope. But then again, we have hope today. And I feel very, very blessed with that. And if you think about it, right, it all starts off with this thing called mindset. Some people say, if you're given lemons, learn how to make lemonades, right? So that's exactly how I was lucky enough to get through it. And you know what's the amazing thing? I'm just sharing about my life story, but the person that can help inspire people, because it doesn't matter where you are in life, whether you're a high management person, you're an executive, you just lost your job, or even if you are a retired individual or you're a student, it doesn't matter which level you are, almost everyone is affected right now with the situation, not just in Malaysia, worldwide. It's not just the health issue of COVID-19, but it's also about the economy. And all those things coming together, right, it is definitely impacting everyone. And the problem is, right, it's not the lemons that are given to us, it's how we are able to see how we can turn that into lemonades. And that's the thing that all of us needs to be able, because I have this thing where you can either choose to learn how to swim or you will drown. And a mentor of mine once mentioned to me, you either do or die.
Which is very, very real.
For sure. And I was just sharing about the thing about like me getting up from the journey. And for me, because I was able to see possibilities, I even chose to make a decision to become an entrepreneur. And I started to to start a business which is focusing on this thing called social enterprise, where the objective is, because on business, one side is to make profit for the directors. And on the other side, the NGO, the objective is to make money to support the community. I chose to be in the middle, meaning to say, rather than wait for people to donate money, I want to actively make money so that I can also put it back in the community, so to build the ecosystem. And even though it comes with the right heart, it comes with the right purpose, but honestly speaking, I did not have the right mindset, because even though I'm motivated, even though I'm excited, but because I didn't have the right strategies or the right frame of mind, I did not take on the right action steps. And I'm a bit shy to share, but this is a real life story. Is it okay if I share my life story with you guys? If it's okay,
right.
Type yes.
Yes. So for those of you, as much, I don't need to type yes because I'm definitely going to listen to. But for those of you who are live with us, if you like this sharing so far, you want to know what's really happening and how that unfolds, type yes in the comment, and then let's get started. I really want to hear Webster share that part as well, because it's my first time hearing that, by the way. So I'm counting on you guys to type yes so that I can actually hear that.
Well, we have a cliffhanger over here, right?
Pretty much like that, but we need to get them to say yes as well. Meanwhile, for those of you here who are with us, and I really want to appreciate that, please like this series and also share it out so that other people can actually have access to this, because we're going to talk about winning mindset, and we have such a special guest here today. I've already introduced and mentioned about him, but you want to really pick his mind because he went from something which we all have heard of this, a zero to hero situation, right? So this is where we want to learn how can we also tap into that. So yes, we're getting a couple of yeses here. All right, let's go.
There's one individual that's in the audience right now that knows me when I was a student. His name is Mr. Tiu. He's actually the history teacher in the school. So teacher, I think you can definitely mention to the world, right, that last time I was a fantastic student. Okay, so.
Oh my God! Wait, you know Mr. Tiu as well?
Yes, I do, Mr. Tiu Wai Sing.
Yeah, he's my teacher as well, my history teacher.
He's right now a specialist for STPM history, right?
I think so. But he told me he was retired, right, Mr. Q?
Yeah.
I hope I
Oh
don't
my
get
God,
the wrong thing out. Okay.
he is an epic teacher when it comes to history. Love his energy. But too bad I was too slow to study.
Well, that's another topic for another day.
Yes, there's
All right.
another topic.
So let's come back to this. We have a couple of yeses already. So let's go.
Okay, so I'll honor that since you guys give me the approval. Thank you so much. I will now openly share. Now, the thing is, when I started the business, I came with the right intentions. I utilized the resources that I have, and the beautiful thing is like life don't give you what you want. They give you what you deserve. So in other words, right, it doesn't matter whether you're a nice person, a bad person, a good person, or evil person. It's the law of the world is, right, if you jump off a building, you will fall. All right. If you don't have a parachute, you will die. So what happened is for me, even though with the right intentions and everything, when I started off the business, I didn't do it properly. I didn't do it correctly. And rather than making money, I started to lose money. It grew to the point that it required me to put in more money, to the point that I remember working in the business, not even on the business, working in the business for a few years. And rather than making money, I ended up being in debt. And when I talk about being in debt, I was at 6 figures red. Meaning to say, people want to make 6 figures. I was losing 6 figures. I was owing people 6 figures. And you know the crazy thing? It is not my first time seeing this problem, because when I was a kid, my dad was in business as well, and he also ran a business where he ran it with a heart rather than the strategy, and he also ended up having debt. Now, this happened in 1998 during the world recession in Malaysia was hit very bad, and he was hit with a debt, and to the point that he went bankrupt. So when I was going through this process, I was having flashbacks, and I would still remember how bad life was last time, because I still remember last time our daily meal was like a bowl of rice, and the dishes that we eat is just like, saucer that you have ketchup inside it, and then you have onions and garlic. That's what we ate every single day last time. If we were lucky enough, we would have like some fresh tomatoes. That's technically how we survived last time. And to me, a lot of this thing was like running through my head. The fear was there. And at that point of time, right, I was almost at the verge of giving up. But the problem is like giving up doesn't mean my finances are fixed. I'm still going to live with it. And at that point of time, I chose to kind of like, I need to do something about this. I started to do this thing called taking responsibility. Last time, I used to have this mindset where I say, okay, if I can't do certain things, I need to hire and work with someone else to do certain things. Like, for example, the marketing, the operations, and I just do what I love to do. And I ended up, the reality is that's not how the world works. Sometimes you need to do what you love to do. Sometimes you also need to do things that you don't like to do. Like, for example, we love to lie in bed. Oh, so nice. Yes, we love that. We love that. But sometimes we also need to wake up, get off the bed, and go and brush your teeth. If not, your wife, your girlfriend, yourself will hate yourself because of the bad breath. You need to do what you need to do sometimes. And I took up that responsibility, and I said, you know what? I need to start learning marketing. I need to start being responsible. And I actually went and find a mentor and invested in a mentor where, in a way, make sure if you find a mentor that hurts your feelings. Don't find a mentor that makes you feel good. Because I was very lucky because my mentor told me the truth, and he rather tell the truth to me so that I can make a wise decision rather than telling me nice things and then me ending up going and doing it and making mistakes and then feeling the pain of reality. So find a mentor that will be daring enough or open enough to tell you that you made a mistake. Very important. And I was very lucky to be able to find that mentor. And again, in life, it's opportunities. So for me, I got that opportunity and it changed how I run my business to the point that I chose to give up my business. There was a team that I had to say, I have to give it up because I did not run it properly. I had to make sacrifices. I had to make change. And rather than like I bitch and complain about it, I think about it as like, what is this opportunity going to be like? And the beautiful thing is, right, because of all those changes, I was able to tweak how I do certain things. And I still deliver to the people that I want to deliver. I still want to give value to the people I want to give value. But the difference is right now, rather than losing money, I'm making money. And in a beautiful thing, wouldn't that be awesome that you can actually be able to help people do the positive things that you want to do, be able to impact the people that you serve. At the same time, you're able to take care of yourself, take care of your family at the same time. And that's something that can be done. It's just a matter of how do you set your mind to make it happen. And I was very lucky to be able to do that because of the real magic thing is the right mindset to do the things that I need to do. What do you think, Jeffro? Do you agree?
I truly agree on that. Having the right mindset, setting up, and one thing as well is life is always unfair in some ways, right? I mean, it's not always going to be unicorns and rainbows. Let's be real honest here. And sometimes when you set up your business of doing lemonades, you talk about if life gives you lemon, you make lemonade. But sometimes, supplies go wrong and you get limau instead. You get limes, and you can't do lemonade because it's probably different process. I don't know. But what I can think is instead of making lemonades, and now I can't because I have limes, I can actually do limau ice. Figure out another way, right?
Perfect.
So it's really just finding an angle and really just a direction to move forward and not be held back or held back because something is different right now.
You see, that's a very good point. You see, there's this thing that if you guys are familiar with Stephen Covey, amazing person that talks about it. One of the things that he shared, right, that I really live till today, and something that I also share with people, is this thing called E plus R equals to O. All right, the formula is called E plus R equals to O. The E stands for the event, the R is the way you choose to respond, and O is the outcome that you would want or would happen. So what happened is, right, the event is something that you could never ever change or do anything about it. It's out of your control. But the R, the response, is all about you. It's all about what you choose to respond with it. And then it will impact or affect your outcome. So an example that I like to use is if the event happens where you're walking down the street, which is a luxury right now if you can have the chance. If you're walking down the street and you accidentally step on dog poo-poo or dog shit, it's not like you purposely wanted it to happen. It just happened, right? Now, the thing is, right, you have a choice. You can choose to see the good side or the bad side. Now, most people, we automatically see the bad side. I'm not saying backside. I'm talking about bad side, okay? I don't want to mispronounce it. So a lot of times people say the bad side. And you know what? It's normal. It's natural. As human beings, we are conditioned to think of things as negative first one. Why? Because it is part of our survival system. Now, this is something that a lot of positive motivators try to make you think of. It's not going to work. The reality is, right, we will automatically think of the negative first one, because if something happens, right, it's very important for us to have this reflex called the fight or flight reflex. Because in back time, if certain things happen, it's always good to be protective so you can protect yourself and survive, because the survival of the fittest. You're not like, oh, there's a sound. Let's see what's the hell. And then you get eaten by a lion. Die, all right? So what happened is we are conditioned to play safe. We are conditioned to be negative first one. So that's the reason why when we're negative, right, we're going to say like, oh, see, I stepped on dog shit already. See, so unfair. God is unfair. The dog is unfair. Life is unfair. You start complaining because of the situation. And because you respond in that certain way, right, your outcome is you're going to have a bad day. And you're going to see all the negative things. But if you to control how you want to choose to define what happens, that's where everything changes. It's okay to know that. This is the thing. If you know of something, you then have the next stage to make a change by awareness. You see, there's this thing, like for example, if you know you're fat, you have the opportunity to choose to do something about it to become fit. Isn't it? If you know you're poor, you have an opportunity, or you can be aware that you have to do something to fix it. Same thing over here. So the awareness gives you the opportunity to choose. So let's say, for example, the same example, you step on poo-poo, you step on dog shit. Now, rather than focusing on the negative, let's focus on something positive. So in other words, it's like in Asia, we're so lucky to be in Asia. There's this thing where in Cantonese, right, dog shit, they call it as gold. Correct? So think about it this way. Imagine, right, you step on dog poo-poo, right? The first thing you think about is like, wow, I'm so lucky. I stepped on gold today. Must buy 4D already. And imagine, just by the shift of how you want to define something, it allows you to totally live and find opportunities that makes a difference. Like the example that you gave just now was so beautiful. I don't have lemon. I only got limau, which is perfect. Because think about it, in Asia, in Malaysia, if you go to Mamak store, hopefully we can go Mamak store soon. When you go to Mamak store, you don't order teh o ice lemon. You order teh o ice limau. So think about it. Supply and demand in Asia, limau makes better sense than lemon. You see, sometimes people say, oh, I cannot do lemonade because I got lime. Screw you. You got lime. Make lime juice.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all a matter of like, how do you choose to define whatever things that happen? Like the beautiful thing is, right, because MCO is happening, right, a lot of people, they are definitely having a tough time. But because of the tough time, they're also making opportunities happen. Like, for example, a lot of people, like, because they cannot go and get their hair cut, they're now taking the opportunity to do new hairstyle. Like, this is not my normal hairstyle. I normally do like I call it the shark hairstyle. Some people call it the chicken hairstyle, the cock, the top thing. But right now, because of the MCO, right, I now get to explore doing a side parting like this, which I think looks pretty good too. My wife loves it. Hey.
Yeah.
So
you look dashing.
Oh, thank you, sir. And that's the beautiful thing, because if you want to live a sucky lifestyle, right, it is your choice. Now, at the same time, right, some people, they say, I don't have the choice. I don't have a choice. Let me tell you an interesting story. There's this guy. It's actually a movie, a very old movie based on a true story, where a guy, he is a self-made man. He made millions in his time with his business and so on and so forth, to the point that he was able to afford a plane. Now, one of his hobbies is he loves to fly. And, one day he was taking his routine flight around, and as he was landing, he came too close to those electrical lines, telephone lines, where his plane got caught in it and it crashed. And what happened to him, he lost everything. Let me define lost everything. His whole body cannot function. He had to have mechanical device to make him breathe. He cannot eat on his own. The only thing he can do is blink. Now, doctors gave him only few weeks to survive. But when he went in, his sister made a formula where every time he blinked, it's going to be focusing on different alphabets. So if you blink once, it's A, blink two is B. So they're finding the alphabets. So what happened is he blinked with the sister to come up with a message. And the first message was, the doctor asked him, there's a very important surgery to be made. It is to make sure that we can put your spine back together so that your body is one. And it's a life-threatening, you only have like 5% to live. And he asked for his approval. It's like, is that a yes or a no? And his number one choice was, even though it was such a small percentage of survival, he chose yes. He wants to live. He wants to survive. He wants to make that 5% work for him. Because as long as he has the positive percentage, it is a percentage of moving forward. Because for him, if he chooses to just give up, right, he'll just die for nothing. But because he had that 5%, he just made it happen. And because of that, they did the surgery, 12 hours of surgery. And he came up to be able to survive. Now, the beautiful thing is, doctors say that he will forever be a vegetable. But the crazy thing is, he told the doctor that in 7 months' time, he will walk into the doctor's room and shake his hand. And guess what happened? He made it happen. Now, this guy is Maurice Goodman. He is from the movie called... what's the movie called already? I forgot. This is such an old movie. I've not watched this movie in such a long time, but I feel inspired to watch it again. I'm gonna Google the movie later on.
I think you gotta let me know as well so that I can put it in queue.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be doing that, man. It's really a good movie. It's a powerful thing, and it all starts with how he choose to make his choices, how he choose to make things work rather than just bitch and complain about it. And the reason why is because he looked at opportunity rather than pain. He looked at chances rather than obstacles. He looked at things that he can do rather than things that he cannot do. So in life, that's the same thing. It doesn't matter which level you're in, whether you're a retiree, whether you're a student, whether you're an executive, whether you still have your job or don't have your job. Everything that happens can become an opportunity. It's just a matter of how do you want to choose to look at it. And that's the mindset I play with. What do you think, Jeffro?
Yeah, I truly agree with that. Life is definitely a choice, and it's either you want to choose to do something about it or you choose to do nothing about it. I'm getting a couple of things.
Oh.
So Sui is saying whether it's called the Miracle Man.
Yes, it's called the Miracle Man. You're right. Yes, yes. He's a
Alden was
cowboy
saying if it's
character.
Montreal.
I don't think it's
know what.
Montreal.
I think it's Miracle Man. Sounds.
Yeah, it's Miracle Man. Correct. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much, Sui. Oh, you're a miracle worker.
Yeah, on Labor Day. Oh, speaking of that, let us just ask, for those of you here with us, and if you haven't really liked this, please like this and share it out as well. We have a lot of sharing earlier, and that was only coming from introduction, by the way. We haven't even gone through the question.
Wow.
That was just introduction, and there's just so many points. And if you feel that was helpful, please let us know as well. But here's what I want to know. For those of you here with us, today's Labor Day. Did you work today or did you not work today? So I want to know, because this question ultimately incites my curiosity to sort of see what I can share more with you today.
Oh my gosh, that's an awesome question to ask.
Yeah, question. Labor Day, are you working? Yes or no? Right. So we'll wait out for our audience to respond to that.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I want to also kind of recap, because there's so many golden nuggets that you were putting out earlier, right? Okay. And I feel that that really covers quite a significant segment of what we have today, and that's not even me going into there yet, right? I feel that was insightful. If you think that, I mean, for those of you here with us, if you feel the same way as well, give a thumbs up, give us a heart to really encourage us, right? Webster has done such a wonderful job. So I want to just do a quick recap on a couple of points. Let me know if I missed this or there's anything else that you want to tap in. So the first thing is, for yourself is, when the situation goes wrong, that at that one point, it's a choice. You want to see it as a good or a bad. That's why, we talk about that part. And then after that, you were also mentioning this, a very, very important part, which is taking responsibility, because ultimately your life is your life. If you don't want it, no one's going to help you and offer help. Hey, you know what? I take care of you. Like you sit down at the couch. So that's not going to happen, right? And then you also mentioned making the change according to situation. And if something's not right, you got to swap around. And how do you do that is when you find a mentor. And that's where you mentioned a very, very interesting bit. And we're going to dive a little bit more into that in a moment. Sure. And you talk about the attitude that we should have, when embracing uncertainties, embracing all these difficulties. We either have, again, coming back to the choice, we all are humans. We feel fear, we feel insecurity, the doubts, but we can either choose to fight it or we can choose to fly away, right? The fight or flight attitude. Am I getting everything so far?
So good. Fight or flight, everything. Wow, you're like super on point, man. Are you writing notes, or how is it possible?
I'm writing notes. I'm writing notes because it's just a lot of things that I'm also. It's a good reminder for all of us, and I can tell you that no matter how good anyone is, and the success that you're seeing outside, people putting on Facebook, you can see major millionaires, billionaires telling all of you that they also have a time where they are down. They also have a time of uncertainty where they don't know what to do, but they don't let them keep them down, right? They recognize that's the situation and they immediately start asking, so what can I do about it? Yeah, and that's how people get the momentum ongoing, right? You ask yourself, what can I do about it? If there's something that I can do about it, then you want to move on. And that's how, that's how Webster's story came into place as well. But I'm more curious. That is in the past, right? So most people always like to say this, that one in the past, easy lah. You already have your things ongoing. And if you don't know, Webster is already running his own business, very successful coach. He coaches not only students, but also adults. And some of them are high profile adults. Now, then the question comes, ever since MCO, came about, and even right now in our stage, how has it affected you and how have you been adapting to it? Maybe you can share a little bit on that so that we can also help inspire for those of us here who may be in the same situation. Maybe we can learn something from you.
Wow, that's a great question. So if I can recap the question, simplify it, is, hey, MCO has happened. How has it impacted me? And you know what? I do live programs. I do live programs because I like seeing people's reactions. I like feeding of it, and it makes it easy. I love to interact. I love working with people. And so happened that I ran one of my last program was on a Sunday where the Monday MCO started. And it was like, and I was so grateful that the fact that, when that happened, right, a lot of people were complaining in my team was like, hey, Alama, now cannot do this already, cannot do that. My first statement was, I'm so lucky because we were able to do our last session before MCO. So for me, it's because I guess once you start training yourself, right, to keep seeing the positive and the opportunities, right, it becomes easier. And to me, the beautiful thing is that because MCO happened, it definitely inspired me, right, to look at different ways to be able to give value to people. And you know what? And it has helped my market actually. Because one of the things is, a long time ago, people always appreciate me teaching them or coaching them live, meaning to say I'm there with them, I can high-five them, I can sit down with them, and we can joke together. And that's why people appreciate me and they're willing to pay the money for it. But now, because of MCO, because everyone cannot leave their homes, all we can do is use the internet, use the camera that we have, use the audio that we have, and connect. And guess what? I'm getting paid the same amount for me to sit in the comfort of my own home without traveling, without needing to change. Okay, I wear something nice on top, but from the bottom part, you don't ask what it is. I'm able to live that kind of lifestyle and still deliver value and still getting paid at the same time. So it's not just benefiting for me personally, but it also benefits the market to accept change as well. And that's beautiful because now I lower down my risk of dying on the road because of a car accident. All right. I save my time not needing to travel here and there. I use the internet. So in other words, right, not only is this helping me, but it's also helping the market that I serve to also evolve. Because the funny thing is, right, sometimes it takes pain to create change. Because if you think about it, the whole concept of business, right, is people are willing to pay money for either you give me extreme amount of pleasure or you fix my pain. Isn't it? So in other words, that's the reality. And this whole MCO, this whole lockdown, this whole COVID-19 is like a world it's to me, it's like a world reset button that's really testing you whether are you a person that's too comfortable and you will die being obsolete, or would you be the type of person that will change and evolve and become better? Because think about it. If you are so arrogant and so ignorant and you're going to end up being like Kodak. Kodak, for those of you that are too young to remember, Kodak is the very famous brand for cameras. And they are famous not for the camera, they are famous because of the film that they used to put in the camera to take photos. Once upon a time, photos were something that you take photo, goes on the film, you have to go to the shop and develop it. That's what it used to be. But because of technology moving, is now digital, Kodak, no matter how amazingly big they were, they are no longer in existence. Companies like Nokia used to be the most hardcore, powerful mobile phone company in the world. Now they're gone. Why? Because they chose to be ignorant. They chose to stay still without evolving. Now, that's the reality. There's three things that are guaranteed to happen in life. Number one, you will die one day. Death will definitely happen. Number one, definitely happen. And no matter how amazingly sinful you are, you will still die. All right. Number two, you will need to pay taxes. As long as you make money at a certain level, you have to pay taxes. Even if you don't earn enough money, you still pay taxes by buying the stuff that you buy that already got tax on. Correct? And the third thing is change. Change will happen whether you like it or not. So to me, the question is, might as well enjoy it. Might as well make the best out of it. Might as well make it useful. Now, I remember, right, last time when I used the example of E plus R equals to O, there was someone that threw up a screwball question because they say like, you can't make everything good. Let's say, for example, someone died. How do you twist someone died to something positive? Which to me was like, whoa, okay. And the good thing about it actually happened. It happened before something that happened to me personally as well. Someone asked me that question. It's like, hey, what if someone had cancer and then after they're going to die? My honest answer at that point of time was this: it's not to hurt anyone's feeling, but my answer was this: at least they get to stop suffering. And it happened to me in real life because my dad passed away, I believe, because of a cardiac arrest many years ago. and he was suffering from a thing where because his body had some issues with immune systems, and to the point that he suddenly bloated up and he was not able to be mobile. He can't move properly, and he passed away because of cardiac arrest. Now, a lot of people will say that's very sad. And I have to say it is very sadful. I really truly miss my dad. But the beautiful thing that I feel is it's a positive twist because he no longer needs to suffer. And I feel very proud because I was able to pay attention to this very long time ago, ever since I was growing up. My dad gave me the best gift, which is to love the family. And I still remember every single day that when I wake up, I have the opportunity to go to my dad and kiss him on his forehead. And I'll sip coffee from his cup. We'll used to have everyone will share one cup, not because we want to share, it's because my dad had the coffee. We don't want to make coffee, we're too lazy, so we just steal from his cup. All right. So that was like fond memories. And the reality is like, even though it is a painful event, it is up to me to choose to make it a positive for myself. Because if I'm going to choose to look at it as the negative, is that my dad died too early, I still miss him, it's going to make me feel bad even more, to the point that I cannot do things properly. And I don't think my dad wants me to be stuck. I don't think my dad wants me to not be able to be successful, not want me to be able to be happy. So to me, it is our choice to really make it positive. So to me, that's the reality. It's really up to you. So the funny thing, this MCO happened, and some of the people that I work with, some of the people that I coach, they come from different backgrounds. And we were just talking about this, right, Jeffro, earlier on? We were talking about this, and we have people that are like, they are retirees. They are someone that have already finished their professional jobs, and right now they depend on their children to be able to fund them. But because of the whole economy issue, right, their kids don't have enough money for themselves. How can they pay for the parents? So the parents now have to do something. We also have some people that I work with, is like, they are students. It's like they are now still studying. They have not worked in a day in their life, but because of this whole scenario, their parents don't have money to pay for their tuition fee. They don't have money to pay tuition fee. They don't have the qualification to earn money, but they're doing something about it. Then we also have people that are housewives, those people that they used to have jobs that now no longer, they are retrenched. We also have people that they are in high positions of ranking, and they are no longer redundant. They are redundant because of the fact that the companies cannot afford them, and when they leave, there's no company that can afford hiring them anymore. So I work with a group of people like this. But you know what's the beautiful thing? It's not a problem, it's an opportunity. And all of those people that I just mentioned, they're currently looking at opportunities of utilizing the digital world to be the opportunity that they have. And the crazy thing, all of us have some sort of a unique skill, talent, or resource. It's just a matter of how do you put those two together. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. How do you take this piece and mash it together? It's like a recipe. How can you take this ingredient and put them together? And what happened is we're coaching with them, and it doesn't matter what your background is, as long as you give yourself the opportunity to explore and to really reach out, to put in the work, to put in that passion, you can get results. Because we're working with a team, or with a group of people. They chose to work with my mentor, and they are all working together on creating digital products or digital services that they are helping people solve a problem. And when they solve people's problem, people pay them for it. And guess what? Imagine doing something that you love. Imagine doing something that helps people. And imagine being paid for it. Even when economy is so bad. It became an opportunity. Some of these individuals now doing something that they never imagined being able to do. Some of them are right now earning more money per day than they used to earn in the week or the month. So it's an opportunity. So to me, right, the MCO is just an opportunity for you to make a decision. The decision is to stay shitty or to make it better. Which also reminds me of another story. If you don't mind, can I share another story?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
This is the crazy thing. Before we started, right, I was telling Jeffro that, I don't want to talk so much. Can I let you talk? Because, this is your topic. Suddenly, you inspire me to talk even more. Jeffro is just like, okay.
Well, I'm enjoying so far. I mean, it's relevant. There is always a lot of things to learn, and these stories I've never heard. I mean, for our audience, if you think that this is rehearsed, I mean, I've never heard of this story. That's why I'm so attentive. Like, I want to also learn. So as much as all of you here are to learn, I'm learning as well. And really, if you do have any questions, pop into the comment section. Just type down what are the questions that you have. Maybe you have certain challenges that we may be able to help and relate to that. And if we have a solution, we'll let you know. If we don't have, we will actually work out something for you, maybe post to this program as well and reach out to you. So yeah, type in your questions if you have any. And meanwhile, we'll continue doing sharing from Webster.
Oh my gosh, I'm like a diarrhea of sharing today. I think this is the side effect of not leaving the house for so long. So the story I wanted to share is about the whole context of shit. I'm serious. So I work with students, and there was a time where I worked with students where parents they send their kids, and we break up into groups based on their needs and their mindsets and all that. And I was so lucky to get the group of students that no one else wanted. Notice the keyword lucky. And it's not sarcastic, yes. Okay? I really feel very blessed to be able to meet them. Why? Because these are a group of students that their teachers would say no hope to help them. And I feel very lucky because I get to see them like myself when I was younger. And I was very happy that I got them. Was it easy? No. Because when when we worked in the group, right, they were very negative. Everything that we say, everything we want to try doing, they'll just not want to do, because in their mind, they feel like it will never work, it will never be good enough for them, or they will never be good enough to do it. And there was one activity that really changes everything. And we were supposed to kind of like come up with a group name, group cheer, the stuff that you do in activities, right? So I asked them, hey, what would you like to call the group? And let's not make something cheesy or cheeky like some other groups like the T-Rex, the Champion. Let's think of something awesome. One of them actually said this. Yeah, sir, we are so lousy. Just call it shit lah. Just call it shit. And I believe everyone in the group expected me to say, no, don't call yourself like that. I ended up actually looking at the kid and looking at everyone and then saying to them, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's call our group shit. They straight away just, huh? And that's the part where I actually shared with them something that I feel was so important, and I truly believe in it. You see, shit is something where normal people think is a bad thing. But if you think about it, right, everything starts with shit. Now, shit, if you process it, it becomes fertilizer. Fertilizer is what gives the plants the nutrition to grow. And if there's no plants, animals and life won't start. And if the animals don't have this nutrition, they won't be able to give us the nutrition. So in other words, right, a lot of times people don't realize, right, shit is so important. People don't look up to it. But for me, I appreciate it. It's just that they need to be processed properly so that they can give out the benefits. Just like you guys. You guys are shit. You guys are so important. It's just that you guys need to have a difference in processing yourself. And that's where I noticed their eyes started to shine. And you know what's the beautiful thing? Ever since that day, every activity we did, they worked that little bit harder. They worked that little bit more. They worked themselves a bit forward. And you know what's the funny thing? We take the time to appreciate every single win we got. Now, when I mean win, it doesn't mean they win the championship. No. Every single time they made something better than before, it's a win. Microscopic wins, mini wins, small wins. To the point that they were not the last group in the competition. Yes, we are not the last champion. We are better than before. or we were like 1 second faster. We are now 1 second more maju than last time. And every single time we do that, right, they experience the wins. Because a lot of times, right, in Asia especially, if you're not 100% percentile student, you're not considered a good student. Even if you're scoring 98%, parents will ask, hey boy, what happened to the 2%? All right, and that's very, very sad, because we don't learn to. We are conditioned to not appreciate what we have. We are conditioned to just fight for more. We are just conditioned to work even harder, and that's the difference. Because if we don't know how to appreciate the progress and productiveness that we are already having, right, it's very hard for us to cope in hard times like this. So in reality, right, it's about doing exactly the same thing. Appreciate the fact that you are shit. It's all a perspective thing. You can either say it's a bad, disgusting thing, or it can be an opportunity to move forward with it. And that's the beautiful thing. Find your small wins. Find the small little things that help you move forward. That's the reason why I actually entered doing magic. Because I used to be so at awe at people doing magic. I always believed that I can never do it. And I just said, oh, it can't be done, it can't be done, it can't be done. Then one day, because I was so pissed off at myself, why am I keep saying can't be done? All right. So I just went and find how to do it. And then when you find out how it's done, you'll be like, wow, I can do that. And then when you start to do it, right, shit, cannot do. Because it takes practice. Now, I'm not telling you this because I'm not motivating or something, but the reality is this. A lot of people, right, they misunderstand motivation because they think that motivation is when you feel good, everything will be good already. That's BS. That's not the reality. Motivation is just like getting you up, right, to get yourself to move forward. So what happened in my journey, I started to learn about magic. Then I started investing, learn magic. And then because I learned magic, doing it, straight away fail. Fail. But that's the pace. The reality is, right, when you fail, you give yourself an opportunity to fix it, work with it, do something about it. Because failure is part of life. You have a choice when you fail. You either give up or you improve yourself. So for me, I worked and improved myself. And even though when I failed, for me, my definition of failure is feedback. To me, every time when you make a failure or sometimes you make a mistake, it's feedback to tell you this is not how to do it. Do something else. All right? Because it is to help you improve. Let's say, for example, when I did magic, I also experimented to go and impress girls. Very, very honest. I went and did this to impress girls. And when I started practicing in front of girls, they just rejected me. Now, I go to the next one. I don't do the same thing. I do something different. Maybe I make my face less creepy, like, hello, would you like to see a magic trick? I calm them down a little bit. It's like, hi, would you like to see a magic trick? And guess what? They also say no. Then I learned that you can't ask people if they want to see a magic trick. I realized that you just go up to them and say, hey, can you do me a favor? Pick a card. And then it started to change. So guess what? Failure is a reality check for you to improve the set of skills. Because even though you have the right motivation, the right heart, it doesn't mean you're set. It only means, right, it gives you the fuel to move forward. Now, as you're moving forward, then you need to polish the skill. And the reality is you need to just try and do something. And you know what's the funny thing? A lot of people, they don't even give themselves the chance to try because they think it's impossible. They think it's too hard. Let's do an experiment. Right here, I have a deck of red cards. Now, what's going to happen is, right, usually magic tricks, they'll ask you to pick a card. So, Jeffro, I'm going to ask you to pick a card. Can you pick a card, please?
Okay, wait. Can see. Oh, okay.
What card you want?
I want the ace.
The ace. Okay,
ace of spades.
Ace of spades. Okay, now I have to find ace of spades. Alamak, damn hard to find ace of spades. Do you want a hard or not?
That's what must be. That's why this topic, right? Reading mindset, it must be hard.
Okay. Oh, I found the spade already.
Okay.
Let's say you choose the second choice is the spades. Okay. All right. So you have the ace of spades. Now, in this red deck, right, what happened is I'm going to cut it, put it halfway. Okay. It's now halfway. Okay. I'm going to put the ace in the middle. Now, what happened is, imagine if I heat it up. Okay. And I tweak my hand. Ding. Haha. Now, do you think I can find the ace?
I think so.
Yes, very easy. You know why? Because all the other cards become blue color. Yay!
What?
So it's very easy to find the ace, especially when it's all blue, except there's one card.
Oh.
There's only one card. Now, what happened is, right, when there's only one card that is the particular card, so what happened is, right, so it's very easy to find that one card, which is the card is your ace.
What?
But you know the beautiful thing? If you rub the ace a little bit, right, the ace becomes blue as well.
What?
Now, you might think, like, how on earth did that happen? Wasn't it supposed to be red? Wasn't it supposed to change? How did that happen? Now, that's what magic does. And you know what? A lot of successful people, they live their life like magic. It looks like it's impossible. It looks like it cannot be done. But the real secret is, right, if you were to take the time to explore, you will be able to find answers. And when you find answers, you find patterns. When you find patterns, you're able to now practice those patterns. You're able to put that into practice in your own life, and you're able to move forward to live the same life like those particular people. Because people have this saying, success leaves clues. Find those clues. You see, one of the biggest things that I'm very sad for a lot of people is when they are so amazing people, they have so many talents, so many strengths, but they just choose to give up and not do anything about it. And it's all gone. But imagine, right, if you give yourself this opportunity, this MCO, this upgraded MCO, you take the opportunity to explore doing something outside of your comfort zone and you're able to use that to level yourself up. Now, if you want to know the answer for this, very simple. If you want to know the answer, type in the chat over there, type in the comment section and say, answer please. If you type that, I will actually reveal the answer of how do you do this. And guess what? You'll be very surprised. Even though this looks so cool, anyone can do this. And you know what? You don't even need to have much practice. That's the beautiful part. So if you want to know the secret, type answer please.
Okay, let's see. Let's see who's gonna have that. Right. So meanwhile, we're waiting for others to type answer please in the comments. For those of you here, actually there was one really interesting comment coming from Eldon. And Eldon was saying, you know, honestly, I've never stayed for a live session so long. This is really godsend for me. The topic is actually what I'm going through right now during this MCO. I recently just got laid off from a 9-to-5 job due to business dropping. But it was just yesterday that I was offered another job with 2 times more salary than my current one. I was literally so down before, but it was a winning mindset that made me continue looking for opportunities, although everyone said job market is bad now. It paid off.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is inspiring.
I want to ask a follow-up question to him. Did he send out his CV to people?
So Eldon, this question is for you. Did you send out your CV to people?
Chances are, right, even though you were having a bad time, by the way, it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to feel sad. But you don't allow sadness to stop you. And you know what? Even though you're having a bad day, even though you're not feeling it, you just need to soldier on. You just need to do it. You just need to take your ass off the seat and move forward. And because you put in effort, you got results. And it's so awesome because if you didn't leave that original job, right, if they didn't let you go, you wouldn't have been able to get a job that pays you double the amount. Oh my God, that is awesome.
Exactly, right?
You see, olden days, right, parents would say, don't leave your job, security. No such thing anymore already. So it's all about, you know, sometimes certain things are opportunities, you making it work. That's so awesome. Oh my gosh, that's such a great part. And you know what? You sitting down, you're not the only one. I normally can't sit for long lectures too, but for today, maybe because I'm the person giving the diarrhea, so it was easy.
Yeah, and there'll be more to come. You know why? Because people are saying answer please. So come on.
Okay, I'm a man of my word. I will deliver. Okay, so what happened is, right, just now what I did is I gave a set of cards, it's all one color, and then suddenly it all changed to a blue color card, and then I was able to find that one card. Now the answer is very, very, very simple because one of all these cards is a card that has 2 color backs. That's all I did. The thing is, right, human beings, we are so conditioned to use our observation because you saw me take a box of red color cards and then you saw me taking out a card that has a red color back. Everyone assumed all the cards inside here were red. No, it's all blue. I just didn't show you. It's by design. All right.
Ayo, no magic already. I'm pretty sure all of them was like alamak. Like
so this is the part, you know, because when I revealed the secret, everyone is like, "Che, so easy." Oh, but that's the reality. That's the reality. Yes. You see, a lot of times, right, a lot of people, they dare not even move forward because they think it's impossible. They think it's too difficult. They think it's too sophisticated. They think it's just too much for them, for their ability. But you know what? So those are nonsense. The reality is, right, each and every one of us have what it takes. And sometimes, right, when you realize the answer is as simple as one card glued to 2 different colors, it's done. No, oh shit.
Like cut drop.
Come on. Because
no mic drop, cut drop.
Because sometimes, right, it's those. This is the beautiful thing. Success, right, it becomes easier once you see how it's done, and it becomes easier once you test it out a few times. You know, that's why when people do exams, right, if you think about when you were younger, you know, when you were in school, right, the first time you did the exam, you're like so scared. But after you've done the exam, right, you look at your junior and you'll be like, "Che, senang je." All right. It's like the first time you go for a job interview, you're like, "Oh, scared. After the interview, no problem. It's the same thing. So it's just you give yourself the chance, right, to just experience and test it out. And that's why giving yourself the chance to have small wins, the small little things to solidify, to remind you, right, that you have what it takes. That's why during this MCO, right, it's a great opportunity. I like to encourage each and every one of you, right, to try doing something, whether it is financially benefiting or it could be a hobby thing. Do something, right, that you always wanted to do. Do it in a small scale and experience the win. Experience doing it well. All right, like if you like dalgona coffee, just go and whip it. Just take the 3-in-1, put the water in. Okay, just work your arms, get the results, because every single win you get, right, it helps you feel good about yourself, and it helps you give yourself permission, right, to move forward and do things. Because guys, this is the thing, shit is only valuable when you change shit into fertilizer. If you just keep shit in a plastic bag, it's going to stink. Not good. Okay, so you have to put in some work. All right. So when Jeffro asked about the question like today, did you work today? My answer for me, yes, of course. The fact that I have to leave my bed,
Yeah.
put on pants, all right, is work. I also work by cleaning the house. I also work by washing the dishes. It's not that I love to wash dishes. It has to be done. But
True.
the reality is this: I enjoy doing the dishes at the end of the day because I enjoy seeing clean room. I like clean kitchen. I enjoy it because I feel proud of it. And because when everything is all the way I want it, it gives me the freedom for me to explore doing other things. And to me, it's all a matter of you, mindset, change, allowing yourself to do what you want to do, what you need to do, and what you can do. All right. So I'm a big believer of that. Because there was this lady that was a guest in Oprah. You guys still remember Oprah, right? Oprah Winfrey show. Now
I don't know who don't know that, but for those
she's
of
very
you who don't know,
famous for like giving free gifts to people. It's like, you win a prize, you win a prize, you win a prize. It's like, it's an amazing thing. Okay, so for those of you that still remember Oprah, she used to interview some amazing people. Some of the most influential people on earth has been interviewed by this lady called Oprah. And one day she interviewed this very young up and coming girl. This young lady was like just finishing school. She was accepted with a full scholarship to go to a university. She was really like on track to be living the most exciting life. Beautiful young lady. A lot of guys like her and all that. And one day, as she was like, driving home from a party, someone from the opposite side was drunk driving the car. So drunk driver. And because they were intoxicated, they weren't able to drive properly. They ended up swerving and going into the wrong lane and crashing into her car. Instantly, 2 of her friends that were in the car died on the spot. She survived, but with such bad burn, her whole face was gone. She had to go through 12 different surgeries to live. And now she have hands but no fingers. She had to amputate all the fingers. Her face was deformed from the once beautiful person to now someone that people would say may look like a monster. And for her, if you think your life was bad, imagine if you were living her life right now. Every single morning, you have to live with that. And you know what's her secret? Every single morning, she goes to the mirror. She gives herself 10 minutes to feel sorry for herself. She gives herself 10 minutes to cry. She gives herself 10 minutes to just feel bad. Because you know what? Life can be quite tough sometimes. Life can be a bitch. And I acknowledge that and I appreciate it. Allowing that to like, okay, good, all right, this happens. But like I mentioned just now, E plus R equals to O. Life is a bitch, it's an event. Move forward from it. Make it turn lemons to lemonade. And after the 10 minutes, she said, okay, enough, time to live my life. I'm so lucky to be alive. 2 of my friends are no longer here. I am blessed to be able to live my life. I'm going to move forward. And right now, she graduated from university. She's working a professional job. She's actually doing mathematics in a company. And how she does it, because she has her hands, like she uses like a part and then type like that. With today's technology, right, you can make things happen. Right? So for her, she's living her life. She's being a young, successful person. She's using her brain to get results. So if she can be able to do it, why not you? That's the answer.
That's very profound.
Yeah, I know. That's why to me, I have no excuse to say that I can't do something. I don't have the right to say that, I can't move forward. I can't see a better day. I don't have any excuses, because if someone like that can do it, what about me? Because if I were to allow myself to say, yeah, I'm worse than them, shame on me. I think my parents would wanted me to be able to see myself more. Because for me, if I have to allow myself to be anything less than I am, I'm not doing anything good to me. I'm not doing anything good to my family. I'm not doing anything good to the community. And that's even worse. So one of the most important things out there is give yourself a chance, right, to have those little wins move forward. Now, the reason why I shared that story, I think, because for some of us, right, we We do things because we want things to happen. For some of us, we do things because we don't want to experience pain. We have this thing called the psychology of push and pull. Sometimes we do certain things because we don't want to get something, so we push ourselves to do certain things. Sometimes we do certain things because we want certain things, so we get ourselves to do it. Like for some people, let's say health. Some people, they don't want to be called fat, so they'll work out every day so they can get the nice body. But then there's some people is they want to be called beautiful, so they also go and work out and make their body beautiful. Same thing, same activities. But some people, they are motivated to do things because they're either push type or pull type. Maybe you need to ask yourself that question: what type of person are you? Are you the type of person that do things because you don't want shit to happen, or are you doing things because you want shit to happen?
Wow. It's like Shakespeare right now. To be or not to be.
I'm sorry if I'm making some of you disgusted, but you know, I can still eat dinner with shit in my mind. So
Right. Well, just for everyone here to know, especially if you're with us and you're still with us, 1 hour in, it's amazing. We are already 1 hour mark, right?
Wow.
The reason why we're going through all this is just to share with you. These are the real things. These are real stories. These are real experiences. And, if you could relate to that, that's brilliant. If you don't, then I also hope that this helps inspire you and give you a different perspective on how things could be. Sometimes we think that things are really tough, but maybe from another person's perspective, they are saying like, wow, you call that tough? You haven't tried my life. So, and I've heard of that before. I came from a part where I thought my life was bad when I was in debt as well. And I could relate to Webster's story earlier. But someone else has told me, like, you call that bad? I lost my house. I was like, oh, well, at least I still have my house. And that's the beautiful thing about looking at things from a different side. And that's the key also from winning mindset. Right? We talked about learning things earlier, and you got to really just put yourself out, see different things. If you're just choosing your bed and your Netflix and your TV over everything else, well, chances is you're just limiting yourself. We all have wonderful and amazing potential from inside. We just need to find them and bring it out. Again, if I may use your analogy of shit, we're all shit, but we can be fertilizers just by upgrading ourselves, just by improving ourselves, and really just deciding if we want to remain there or we want to move forward, right? Ultimately, the choice is ours. And so I want to also recognize those of you who are here. I think we have replies earlier. Adrian said hi in the middle, so we'll say hi. Eldon replied. Eldon replied he did not send that CV. He went back to his contact list, searched for the people where he has. For the people that he has worked with, thinking that referrals work better than blindly shooting. And that's a different perspective. See? Right? Amazing, right? Because the results tells everything.
Hard, not just work hard. Very good. I love that.
Exactly. And then we're going back to some of the comments before. So you're saying, I work every day, Monday to Sunday, no difference, public holiday or not. Oh, Kevin Lu just joined us. Right? Hello, Kevin.
Hi. Oh, Kelvin Lu from SMKHK.
I think so, but I'm not sure.
Okay, maybe that's another Kelvin Lu. I'm sorry. Hi.
Either way, right? So if you're here and you found this really, really helpful, again, please give us a like, give us a hearts, and share this out because there's just so many golden nuggets. I would love to go and summarize. And well, as I was saying this, Kevin just replied and said yes. So he's the Kevin that we're talking about. And there's just so many things that we've covered. And you know what? I want to actually expand this. And if everyone's okay, I want to go a little bit deeper into certain areas because it's a burning question. We talk about personal right now. For those of you here, if you're with someone else and you're working with people, are you curious as well? Now I know what I can do, my perspective, my change, my choice. But if it's someone else, how do I help that someone else? Are you curious to know this, right? If you're curious, type in the comments, say yes, or you can even use the word curious. Either one, I'll just take it, and then we'll get Webster to share with us because he works with a team of people. You can see Webster wins. He has a really solid mindset, and I'm enjoying so far. But how does he get the team to also ride along this way? That's really, really something that I also want to know. Yeah, you can see Webster's like thinking, oh no. So if you want to know this as well, if you want to figure out how can you inspire others, how can you impact others to go on the same ride with you, you want to win together, then type in the comments curious or yes, either one, and then we'll get answering to that. Right. So that's really something I want to know how you do it.
Wow. Okay. So for this particular question, right, I would like to give you, Jeffro, the choice for what kind of answers am I going to give. Okay, you want me to give you the politically correct answer, or would you like me to give the reality answer?
Oh, if you would ask me, I would say real. I would love real stuff.
I respect that, because I love the fact that you chose that as well, because I wish someone would tell me this before. Because the politically correct answer will be moving somewhere within, like, be positive with the team, sit down with everyone, plan about what you guys want, blah 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 blah, which is not wrong. It's just that when it comes to time like this, the reality is this: you can't choose your family, right? But you can choose your team. There's this wise saying that you are a reflection of the 6 people that you hang out with. And this is something that very, very successful people all would say. They would say it's like you are the reflection of the 5 or 10 people that you're net worth with. That's why millionaires hang around millionaires, billionaires hang around billionaires, broke people hang around broke people. It's because the people you choose to spend time with is reason either because you're influenced by them or you are the one that influencing them. And this is a sad reality. So when it comes to teams, if you had the opportunity to start a team, be very high standards. Meaning to say, right, if this person is not in the same value system as you, if it's not the same type of person that has the same drive like you, or the same passion of going to the same direction like you, chances are the team will die. And it's okay for that. It's okay to let people go. It's okay for you to let go of yourself in that group if that group is not meant for you. It is a reality. Just because some are your friends, some people are you really like this person, but if it's certain tasks, certain responsibilities, not everything fits. Like, I love cheese, but I can't take cheese and put into red wine together, blend it and make a drink. Some things don't go well together. Okay, so
that image is just
I know it's a weird idea, but that's the reality. So teams are something that you can really choose, all right? And that's the reason why I said the real answer is like, I know people hope that I would say something like, how can you nurture each other? Nurturing still comes back to the individual. I'm talking right now to adults. I'm talking to professionals, okay? There's reason, like, you need to let that person have the respect, give that person the opportunity and the respect to be able to speak in the same level, which is like, you know what, right now we are in this stage, this is the situation, we need to do this. Are you comfortable doing it? If yes, let's do it. If not, please leave so we can make, we don't depend on someone that is not dependable. Does it make sense? So it's the respectable thing. So to me, when it comes to teams, at this stage, especially right now, it's not about team development. It's not about team building. It's not about team growth. It's all about pulling your asses together. It's all about working extra harder. And the reason why you do it is because you are in a team that inspires you to do that. Because you see, there's this very funny thing. It's like, if you hang around with broke people, right, chances are everyone will be complaining about, oh, the government is like this, this is bad, there's no opportunities. It's because everyone has the same mindset. You stay in that level. And that's why the difference, like those millionaires, when they talk about like problem, when they're sitting down together, they'll be talking about, hey, what's the stock to buy? Hey, what is these opportunities that we can get? Hey, what kind of lubang do you have? All right. I think Jeffro, Rash is always talking about the lubang man, because his mindset, we know this guy, he's an amazing young talented person. He dabbles himself into the world of investing, and even though he's very young, he's also very talented, very passionate, and he does it because he's always about looking for opportunities. That's why his name is called the Lubang Man, not because he has a lot of hole. He finds opportunities, which is amazing. So it's all about like being able to have that kind of a person in your network, and when you have that kind of a network, right, you will become like that person as well. Because there's this story. Now, I love seafood. Do you like seafood, Jeffro?
Yeah. I like, although I can't take too much, but yeah, I do love that.
Yes, it's in moderations, right? Now, I like excessive seafood. Okay, so I love, particularly I love crabs. Okay, and if you give me the choice, mud crabs and sea crabs, I like mud crabs. Okay, but there's a certain thing that I get the opportunity to learn from mud crabs. Now, some of you have the opportunity to go to those restaurants where there's live crabs, right? Now, ever since I was a kid, I always love seeing people take up those crabs. And if you realize, right, some of these crabs, they are kept in a container that doesn't have a top on it. Yeah, and then they just take it out, put it in a shallow bucket or a pail. And I was like always curious, what happens if the crab like crawls out? Wouldn't it go and pinch everyone? But it never happened. And I paid more attention, and I realized, right, if you see if one of the crabs tries to grab its way out of the bucket, another crab that's below will use their pincers and grab onto that crab and pull it down. And when another crab tries to go up, another crab will grab it and pull it down. And that's the reality of today's world. Your people that you're with, are they like crabs? Do they pull you down? Because if you think about it, if you have a network of people, and are those part of people that inspires you to kind of like challenge yourself, go outside of your comfort zone? Or do they just demotivate you and just say that, you're useless, you'll never be able to do that, don't dream? And they claim it as being realistic people. Now, that's the difference. That is the team that I'm asking, that I would say you need to be aware of. So if your team is acting like a crab and they're pulling you down rather than raising you up, maybe it's time to leave that team. Maybe it's time to evolve. Maybe it's time to migrate. That's my point. So to me, if they are ready to help themselves, help each other. But if they are not in the same mindset, it's not your job to help them. You're not their mommies and daddies. Let them have their time to change and grow. If you know you're ready, you're ready to move forward, just do it. That's why mindset is so important. So important. Yeah. So that's really.
Yeah, and I sorry to interrupt you. Do you have anything else to add?
Oh no, I'm perfectly fine.
Well, because what I like is earlier when you mentioned you got to go back to looking at the values, and this is very important. And Eldon was saying, he was also curious because psychologically we can't help someone who's unwilling to help themselves. That's a great point. And to answer for those who are curious as well, I think the real answer here, like what Webster has mentioned, you don't want to dabble into someone who doesn't want to be there. And if someone wants to win with you, it's actually very easy, because whatever you say, if you point them to the right direction and it aligns with them, they will go with you. Then the chances is they'll ask you what to do, how can we do. But if someone doesn't want to go there, if someone wants to leave, or someone is just happy being down, being stuck. Now that is a part where I think as leaders, or as someone who's leading them, right? Maybe you don't want to call yourself leader, but if you're in charge and you're leading them, then maybe you have to make that decision, to let them go or to help them realize a different perspective. Again, we don't know that situation, but chances is if that person really doesn't want to move, the values all gone, the alignment hilang, nothing, even engine also hilang, then I think it's just time to leave that car there and move on. I mean, to be fair, if someone doesn't want to move, we can't force someone to move.
Yeah. You see, there's a difference, because I've mentioned with some people, right, that they are in the position where they have to fire people. Now, I'm not saying like fire them and just let them go. Remember earlier today, I talked about if you have an opportunity, right, find a mentor that can tell you the truth, that can be mean to you. And this is the thing. I'm not asking you to find someone that abuses you. There's a difference between mean and abusive. The mean means, right, they're going to tell you something that is truthful, that to leave you with the opportunity to choose how you use it. Abusive, their number one goal is to just hurt your feelings. And people that can be abusive can be doing it in many ways, can be sarcastic, can be it could be your partner in life, it could be your friend. But, but look for people that would be able to be honest to you. So even if you're firing someone, right, be honest to them. It's like, the reason why we need to let you go is because of this. Be direct. Because you're giving them the opportunity, again, respect them to be able to process the information so they can choose to use it. Because some people, their rate of change or their trigger to change is different. Some people, they gain 1 kilogram on weight, they already feel like, oh no, I need to work out already. For some people, they need to be so round that they can't even see the foot, they can't even see the bottom. Like, this is a real story. This person started to work out because the stomach was so big he can't see his private part anymore.
Wow.
I know it's very obscene, but sometimes, right, people have different levels of pain to make change. Someone shared this story with me, and I think it's really awesome. Smoking. I don't smoke, but I know someone that smoked, and what happened is like he smoked. He tried stopping, but cannot stop. Cannot stop. But one day, right, this guy's daughter came into the room, and the man said, "Hey, don't come in the room. I'm smoking. After you fall sick and all that. No, go away. Then the daughter went to the room and like, Papa, can you spend time with me? Then the dad's like, why? What's wrong, girl? I scared you die early because you smoke so much. People say you die early. I don't want you to die early, Papa. And the dad was straight away, the heart sunk because he never thought of himself smoking and might make the daughter feel that way. And then he realized, right, his choices have consequences. And because of that pain that he has, this is something that mostly only fathers or mothers would feel. Right now, if you're not a father, not a mother yet, right, you'll be like, don't feel like anything. But when you're a dad or you're a mom, this means a lot to you. And then suddenly that cigarette is, or that comfort or that thing that you always enjoyed is not as important as this family thing or this love thing or this new thing that you appreciate. So it's the reality. Every one of us have different pain points, have different trigger points. It's either something that's so painful that forces us to leave what we're doing to do something different, or there's something that we love so much that we want to pursue. All right? Like, for example, getting married is like, do you get married because you hate being alone or because you love that person so much? It's different for different people, right? So it comes back to you. So if you talk about cultivating teams and all that, the most important thing is, number one, take care of yourself first. If you can't take care of yourself, right, you can never take care of other people. It's like, that's the reason why when they talk about the flight safety thing, they talk about, please put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put on your children. Why? Because if you can't be taken care of, you will not be able to take care of anyone else. All right? So even as a leader yourself, even if you're in a position to help your team or you have a team, take care of yourself first. Make sure you're in a position of strength, because when you're in a position of strength, you will have the strength to inspire and help other people as well. So first thing, go look for wins. Go and give yourself the opportunity to grow, improve, make yourself better. Because sometimes, right, if you live your life better, you might inspire someone else to do the same.
Well, people see you, right? So whatever you do, people look up. It's like in parenting, in teams, in life, with everything. Yep. It's all related. It's the same concept. We look up to other people who we consider as heroes. Yep. If you're in a team, your team member looks up to you as like a hero as well. May not be the same hero as you look up to your dad, but you look up for guidance and you look up for example. Right? So if we as leaders, you just have to be an example. And I'm saying be the example, not just show them, an example. Yeah, you got to be that yourself. Yeah. And so it's amazing.
So true. That's what the reality is. Like, actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. Results speaks louder than action.
True. Because I think this is something that we all have to embrace as well.
So true. Because there's this false idea. A lot of people think, right, when they're busy, they're very productive. Not true. Being busy and being productive is two different, totally different things. That's why sometimes, right, you need a mentor. A mentor will kind of like, hey, you're doing something shitty. And that saves you a lot of time, because sometimes, right, we only see the patterns backwards. While you're doing certain things, right, sometimes you won't realize certain things. You only see the patterns when you're done it. Turn back, look at it, look at the footsteps in the sand, then only you realize. So sometimes to save your time, to save your effort, to save money, is to invest in a mentor. Invest in a mentor could be like you go and look for someone that you are inspired, or look for individual that is like teaching certain things. Look for a mentor that you can relate with, that you have the same values with, and would be able to tell you the truth. Very, 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 very important. And then give yourself the opportunity to just like tweak it. That's why it's like, if you have given lemons, make lemonade. If you're given limau, make limau ice.
Yeah. I mean, that's essential, right? I mean, that's the truth. That's the only thing that we can do. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. And
Yep.
I find that very profound. That is my personal mantra as well. It's really what we choose to do, right?
Nice.
And as much as I would love to continue on this, I know there's so much more that Webster has to share with us. As you can tell, right? If I were to probe some more, there will be more nuggets that's coming up. But to respect Webster's time, we are almost at like 1.5 hours, and I thank all of you here for joining us and being part of this. If you have any questions, type it down. We're down to our last couple of minutes. I do not want to prolong this any further as well. I know some of you here might enjoy that, but I am a firm believer, do not stick too long on the screen. and we're all on the screens right now.
Yes.
Right. So if there's any questions, do pop up. Otherwise, we're going to soon wrap up. Some of the things that I just want to recap as well for all of us here. We have Webster just now sharing a lot of profound things, from the mindset to what you can do personally and your team as well. We are all talking about real things. There are some good stuff. There are some real things that you can do. You can choose, right? The good stuff is everywhere else you can find on the internet, but the real stuff is really choosing back to the things that aligns to you and will really get you results. Right? That is the real thing. And again, just now what Webster mentioned is about mentor, and he talked about the importance of having someone else to tell you the truth. Now, expanding on that, I actually do know that you have something running. Your mentor is doing something as well, right?
Yes,
to help people on certain areas. Maybe you could share a little bit more on that.
Well, that's for sure. Okay, so for me personally, I do education. So what happened is I usually serve families, I serve a few professionals. But this is the thing, because I'm talking to you guys are professionals yourself. So what happened is, right, if I can, point you in a direction that you can explore something to help you build your wins, especially right now during the MCO period, especially with this kind of economy period, I'd like to encourage you guys, right, to explore and look for my mentors program. It's called the Business Online Business Masterclass. All right, it is happening. We're going to be sponsoring one live on the 5th of May. Okay, it's at 8 p.m. Now, if you want to get yourself registered, it's very, very simple. I think Jeffro will be sharing the link later on. Now, when you get registered, it's going to be hosted by my mentor. His name is Desmond Ong, an amazing individual. He has helped me in my business. He has been the person that looks to me in the face and tell me exactly what I needed to hear, tell me exactly what I need to do, and help me change how I run my business. And it's amazing. Right now, together with him, we're coaching a large batch of people with different backgrounds to create digital products and services to help people solve problems. And the beautiful thing is, they're able to make money even before they actually have the product done. So think about it. When you start business, right, it's always about putting money first, put in the work first, then you get money, right? But if you have the right strategies, you can actually start getting money first so that you can actually deliver the outcomes that you want. And he's going to be sharing with you the strategies on the 5th of May. All you need to do is just go to the link. All right. When you get registered, you'll be informed for the dates. You'll be given reminders, and I'll be there as well. I'm so excited to be there because every single time I get a chance to join one of these masterclass, I learn something new. All right. Because you never stop learning, and the more you learn, the more you earn. All right. Wow. So I'm a big believer of that. So give yourself the chance, right? If you're the type of person that you want to take something from here, something that you have from here, and you want to help someone else, and you feel awesome that you can help someone else and get paid at the same time, go for this masterclass. All right, I guarantee you will not regret it. That 1 hour will be worth your time in full. Okay.
All right. So the link is on the screen. You can see this. If you can't, of course, if you want the shortcut to really getting there, I've already put it into the comments. So just go there, click on it, and then you'll be directed to the website itself. Everything is self-explanatory over there. Just do check it out if you're interested in learning more. This, I believe, it's a really good skill for at least just to equip yourself with something else, Again, a very beautiful thing. If it's something that can help you on the side, go for it. Now, the other thing that I want to also reward for those of you who are here, just an added value as well. For those of you who have been with us from the beginning until now, amazing. For those of you who has just joined us, you stand the chance to get this as well. I actually have curated a ebook itself, and this is basically for communication phrases. Now we talk about just our phrases. How do we get our message across? The winning mindset. Sometimes about winning itself, you don't always have to have something to say. You don't always have to tell people certain things. Maybe the answer comes from them. But the point is, a lot of people struggle in, okay, so what do I say? How do I get it going? Or what can I say first so that I can invite the other person to tell me something? And I basically put together 14 powerful phrases that allows not just professionals, but parents, spouses, all together, that you can actually use this to really help empower the other person, right? It's for you to really help inspire, impact, and influence someone else for the better. And if you're interested in getting yourself a free copy of this ebook, the 14 powerful phrases of communication, then just type win in the comments and I will reach out to you and I'll send you a copy for free.
Wow! I want to copy now. I'm going to type win now.
Yeah.
I want this.
All right. Well, you gotta see this as well. Okay, cool. And yes, so for those of you who have been with us, thank you so much, for being here and for your patience. Really, this 1.5 hour, I felt it was really, really a lot of value, a lot of insights, a lot of good stories. I enjoyed. I like, and I was laughing throughout. I think if I were to rewatch this whole thing, I probably can't see my eyes for most of the time. Yeah. Okay. So before we end this session, before I let you go, just want to ask you, Webster. Are there any words of advice, or encouragement for our audience on getting a winning mindset?
Okay. If you guys can, write this down. Put this somewhere that you can actually see every single day so that it reminds you, because change doesn't happen automatically. It takes time. Habits are developed. So one thing that I remind myself every single day is this word called impossible. Impossible is a very big word because I grew up where people tell me everything is impossible. It's like you being able to get good grades is impossible. You being able to make money is impossible. Life becomes better is impossible. And I used to grow up having that stuck in my mind. But you know what's the beautiful thing? When you shift the word impossible, you break it down, it can be spelled into I am possible. Now, that is what normally people say, but you know what? The real world it's not about you are possible means everything can happen. You need to put in some effort. So I added a little bit. The I is, M is make or made, possible is possible. So impossible is something that you can make possible. It is up to us to find the resources, find the strategies, find the right mentors, and put in the work to make it possible. If you want to be rich, make it possible. If you want to be happy, make it possible. If you want to have a amazing relationship, you make it possible. It is the powers in your hand. Find the resources, find the opportunities, find the right people, and allow yourself the chance to take action, move forward, and then enjoy the results. Because, if you get results without any much effort, it's not something you appreciate. But if you put in the effort and you get the results, it's worth so much more. So remember, impossible means it's made possible. That's my final gift for everyone.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Webster, for sharing so much with us. And for those of you who are here, we have come to the end of the segment. Really thank you again for all of you here, especially, we have Eldon who actually said, holy crap, I stayed for the entire thing. I'm impressed myself. And I really hope that this entire session has given all of you here a lot of insights, a lot of values, a lot of actionable things as well that you can really reflect and also hopefully make a change at work. So once again, give this a like, and help us share this out so that other people can get insights on this as well. Share it and may this reach as many people as possible. And until then, we're going to say goodnight and we're going to sign off right now. So I'll see you. This is Jeffro and that is Webster.
Webster. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Have a good night. Enjoy time with your family.
Okay, bye.